Africa, a continent of beauty, culture, and untold potential. But beneath its rich soil and stunning landscapes lies a story of struggle. In this documentary, we explore the top 10 poorest countries in Africa, 2025, nations burdened by conflict, corruption, and climate challenges. These countries may have little in wealth, but they are rich in courage and resilience. Let's begin. Number 10. Mozambique. Estimated GDP per capita, $663. 2025. Mozambique lies along the southeast coast of Africa, facing the vast Indian Ocean. It is a nation of natural beauty, white beaches, fertile lands, and gas reserves beneath its waters. Yet, over half of its population lives below the poverty line. The country's challenges began with a brutal civil war that lasted from 1977 to 1992, leaving infrastructure destroyed and millions displaced. Just as the nation began to rebuild, natural disasters struck again and again: cyclones, floods, and droughts that wiped out crops and homes. In recent years, Mozambique discovered vast natural gas reserves, a potential gold mine. But political instability, debt scandals, and insurgency in the northern region of Cabo Delgado have delayed its economic growth. Still, hope remains. Across the cities of Maputo and Beira, young entrepreneurs and small businesses are rising. If peace holds and corruption fades, Mozambique could one day rise from poverty to prosperity. Number 9. Somalia. Estimated GDP per capita, $630. 2025. Somalia, a land of deserts and coastlines, of warriors and traders. For decades, it has faced civil war, drought, and famine. Since the fall of its central government in 1991, Somalia has struggled to rebuild institutions and secure peace. Today, the nation relies heavily on livestock exports and remittances from its diaspora. Droughts continue to threaten food security, and limited governance affects health and education. Yet, amidst the ruins, a new Somalia is quietly emerging. In Mogadishu, startups are being born. Young Somalis are embracing technology, creating apps for trade, and using mobile banking to bypass traditional barriers. Their innovation, even amid chaos, shows that poverty does not define destiny. Number 8. Niger. Estimated GDP per capita, $597. 2025. Niger, a vast, sun-scorched nation at the edge of the Sahara Desert. More than 80% of its land is dry and barren, making agriculture extremely difficult. And yet most of its people depend on farming and herding to survive. The country faces the challenge of rapid population growth, one of the fastest in the world. Resources are scarce, schools are few, and healthcare is limited. Though rich in uranium, corruption and insecurity have kept wealth out of reach for ordinary citizens. International organizations are working with local leaders to introduce renewable energy and sustainable farming. Solar power projects are beginning to light up villages once left in the dark. Niger's battle is ongoing, but its people remain unshaken. Number 7. Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC. Estimated GDP per capita, $585. 2025. The DRC is Africa's paradox, a land of unimaginable wealth trapped in poverty. Beneath its soil lie vast deposits of gold, cobalt, and diamonds, minerals the world depends on for technology and energy. But corruption, war, and exploitation have stolen the riches from its people. In the eastern provinces, armed groups control mining zones, forcing civilians into dangerous work for little pay. Millions have been displaced, and hunger affects nearly half the population. Despite this, the DRC's potential is immense. If managed properly, its mineral wealth could transform the entire region. With stability and transparent leadership, Congo could move from being one of the poorest to one of Africa's richest nations. Number 6. Sudan, estimated GDP per capita, $573, 2025. Sudan, a nation torn between hope and hardship. Once among Africa's largest countries, Sudan lost most of its oil reserves when South Sudan gained independence in 2011. Since then, its economy has struggled. Inflation is high, and basic goods are scarce. Political instability, sanctions, and conflict have hindered growth. Yet Sudan's agricultural potential remains strong. The Nile River could turn the country into a regional breadbasket if peace and reform prevail. Sudanese farmers and youth movements continue to push for democracy and stability. Sudan's story is not over. It is still being written by a generation determined to see change. Number 5. Madagascar, estimated GDP per capita, $555, 2025. Madagascar, the island of wonders, home to species found nowhere else on Earth. Its natural beauty hides deep poverty. Most of the population depends on small-scale farming, and frequent cyclones destroy livelihoods year after year. Corruption and weak infrastructure limit development. Still, the people of Madagascar are resilient. From vanilla farms to gemstone markets, locals work tirelessly to create income from what little they have. The world knows Madagascar for its biodiversity, but few see the struggle its people face daily. It's a nation that has every reason to give up, but doesn't. Number 4. Central African Republic, CAR, estimated GDP per capita, $515, 2025. The Central African Republic sits in the heart of Africa, rich in diamonds, gold, and forests. Yet, it remains one of the poorest nations on Earth. Decades of coups, rebel conflicts, and instability have crippled its economy. Most citizens survive through farming, but insecurity often forces them to abandon their land. Basic healthcare and education are nearly non-existent in rural areas. However, hope is slowly returning. Peace agreements and international aid programs are helping stabilize some regions. If security continues to improve, the CAR could begin its journey from survival to stability. Number 3. Malawi, estimated GDP per capita, $475, 2025. Malawi, the warm heart of Africa. Known for its friendly people and scenic lakes, Malawi's beauty contrasts sharply with its poverty. The country's economy depends largely on agriculture, especially tobacco, maize, and tea. Frequent droughts and poor infrastructure have kept production low. Still, Malawi is one of Africa's most peaceful nations, investing heavily in education and healthcare despite limited funds. Across the nation, microfinance programs are helping small farmers and women entrepreneurs build businesses. Malawi proves that wealth isn't just about money, it's about resilience and unity. Number 2. South Sudan, estimated GDP per capita, $420, 2025. The world's youngest nation, born in 2011, South Sudan's journey has been turbulent. Civil wars, displacement, and ethnic violence have left millions in poverty. Oil, its main source of income, has not benefited the people due to corruption and conflict. Floods have also destroyed crops, forcing millions into hunger. But amid tragedy, there are glimpses of progress. Education programs, peace talks, and youth initiatives that promote unity. South Sudan stands at a crossroads, between war and peace, between despair and possibility. Number 1. Burundi estimated GDP per capita, $308, 2025. At number 1 is Burundi, officially the poorest country in Africa. This small, landlocked nation in East Africa has faced decades of ethnic conflict and political instability. Over 80% of its population lives below the poverty line, surviving on subsistence farming. Burundi lacks natural resources, and its infrastructure is underdeveloped. Frequent droughts, soil erosion, and dependence on agriculture make the economy fragile. Yet Burundians are hardworking and determined. Across the hills of Bujumbura, community groups and NGOs are helping locals rebuild schools, plant trees, and support families. Burundi may be poor in money, but it is rich in spirit. From Somalia's dry plains to the green valleys of Malawi, the story of Africa's poorest nations is one of endurance. These countries face immense challenges: conflict, corruption, hunger, and climate disasters. But beneath the statistics are people, dreamers, innovators, and survivors. Poverty is not permanent. With stability, education, and honest leadership, every one of these nations has the power to rise. Africa's wealth is not only in gold or oil. It lies in its people, its resilience, and its hope. This has been the Top 10 Poorest Countries in Africa, 2025. Thank you for watching.